Good morning, everyone. Phi Farley here. It's March 12th. Happy Tuesday, Tournament Tuesday. We have got tournaments kicking off, first rounds. We got the ACC tournament kicking off, then all the way up to championship games. WCC, St. Mary's, Gonzaga. Great finale. It's always fun to watch, whether you get a 1-2 going into the final versus teams like Bradley, Northern Iowa type championships, 5 and a 6 duking it out. Pretty awesome. So Bradley's going to the tournament. Congrats to them. Another one, the Summit League championship is going to be played tonight. Omaha, number 2, going against North Dakota State, I believe is number 4. Omaha with 2 losses this year to Oral Roberts. North Dakota State takes care of Oral Roberts and will be trying to wrap up their playoff run with a win against Omaha, which will be tough to do. Omaha sitting at a 3.5-point favorite at this point. Now, I heard an interesting statistic yesterday on a show called Straight Outta Vegas, hosted by RJ Bell, and he had said 72% of the teams that won the 2 regular season games go on to win the 3rd game in their tournament. And I think that's interesting because his point was it happens more often than we think. And I would actually say that's not as often as we would think. Because for every, Omaha, North Dakota State, which Omaha took both games this year, you have a Gonzaga Pepperdine. Pepperdine had no shot at that, including covering a 23.5-point spread. Gonzaga ends up winning by 26. I think more importantly, most of those games are going to be lopsided spreads. But to know that 28% of the time, the team that has dropped 2 of the games wins outright is fairly significant. I think that's actually more significant than one would think. Not to mention potentially covering, because you're going to get a lopsided line in that game. Yesterday, would be an example, Wofford facing Greensboro. Now, I know Wofford ended up covering, but boy, Greensboro had him on the ropes. If you watch that game, Greensboro had him on the ropes. And that's one that Wofford had beat him twice by 30+. And now in the 3rd matchup, Greensboro's hanging with him all the way down to the wire. Now, that said, Wofford did pull away, and they're on the 72% side. Again, that's referring to winning outright. The 3rd game winning outright. So there's a couple games today that apply to that statistic. I just thought I'd share the knowledge because I thought it was interesting. That 72% of the time the team wins a 3rd time in a row. Not talking about covering, but just winning the game outright. I actually think that's fairly low. To say that 28% of the time the other team that has lost twice in a row ends up winning is, I think, is fairly significant. So something to keep an eye on, see how that plays out today and throughout these tournaments, as it will be a factor. All right. Now, before I get into the best bet, let's talk a little bit about yesterday. Yesterday, a 4-0 sweep, another sweep of the board. Really happy about that. Patreon.com/Phi Farley is now over 60%. I told you I'd get it over 60%, and now we're sitting over 60%. So congrats to those on Patreon.com/Phi Farley. Really proud of that. Looking to get daily best bets up over that as well. It's getting there. And with a few more wins, we're going to do so. Yesterday, 2-0 on Daily Best Bets, 2-0 on Patreon.com/Phi Farley. One other pitch for that I'm just going to throw out there is that if you were upset about the timing of my videos getting out for the Daily Best Bets right before tip, they're posted on Patreon.com/Phi Farley first. So there's no upload time. This video is already posted out there on Patreon. So if you want my picks early, you have that avenue. You have that option. Go over to patreon.com/Phi Farley and get those videos or get those picks right away. All right. Finally, as always, if you haven't subscribed, take a second, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Follow me on Twitter @Phi Farley. And again, check out patreon.com/Phi Farley. Okay. Today's best bet. This is going to be interesting because we have a number 1 seed going against the number 2 seed. And the number 2 seed is favored over the 1 seed. That's Northeastern facing Hofstra. Northeastern favored by 2.5, and there's a couple factors here that you're going to want to know as we go into this game. First and foremost, Hofstra really plays the game through Wright Foreman. Wright Foreman, one of the leading scorers in the nation at 27 points per game. He might even be the number one leading scorer in the country at 27 points per game. However, Northeastern has done a good job containing them. They've played each other twice. First game was at Hofstra. It was a 3-point win by Hofstra, just 3-point win at Hofstra. And then they played again later in the season at Northeastern. Northeastern taking that game 75-61, 14-point win in favor of Northeastern. If we go over to KP, third party, just checking out the strength of each one of these teams. We have a half a point advantage in favor of Northeastern. Northeastern is the better team by half a point. Now, it's interesting, 22-10 is the mark for Northeastern. Hofstra, 27-6. But if you look at their non-conference strength of schedule, Hofstra was 5.85 points under the average team. Their strength of schedule out of conference was 327th in all of college basketball. I mean, that's down in the bottom 10th. I mean, way down towards the bottom. Now look at Northeastern. They had the 20th hardest schedule in the country. 7.16 points better than the average team was Northeastern's non-conference schedule. Now, I want to bring one thing up here real quick. Two different games, one in which Hofstra won in that game. Wright Foreman shot 30 field goal attempts. Oh my gosh. 30 field goal attempts. He scored 42 points that game. He was 4 of 7 from three-point land. Hofstra in general shot 40% from three-point land in that game to be able to win. Now let's go to the game they lost. And what did that look like later in the season? Whoops. Oh, never mind. It's coming up. As I bring that up, keep in mind Northeastern has won 11 of their last 12 coming into this one. You can probably tell which way I'm going here. Wright Foreman shot 14 times. He was only 2 of 8 from three-point land. They shot 22.7%, did Hofstra, and he only scored 15 points in that game. Now, all that said, we have a Northeastern squad that has 3, almost 4, you could say, players who score double digits per game on average. They have a lot more options when it comes to who's going to push them over the edge here to win this game. Gresham Jr. scores 9.8 points per game, so maybe he's the one a smidge under that mark. Now, as a team, they shoot 38.5% from three-point land, so also a very good shooting team. This is going to be a great game, but I think the strength goes over to Northeastern, and here's one final reason why. Akias, I believe his name is, Sean Akias. Akias has been out for most of the season. He's only played 13 games, 2 of which are these playoff games. He provides 10 points, 2.8 rebounds, 2 assists, shoots 34.4% from the three-point line. I'm just seeing this for the first time, though. 56% from the free throw line. I hope that's not, that's pretty bad. That is one part I didn't know about him. I'm looking at how many free throws he had. 18 of 32 on the season. So he's only averaging about 2.6 or so free throws per game. So we're not going to be heavily reliant on that good thing. But that said, we're adding another 10 points to their lineup with him in there, and that's contributed to their wins here down the stretch in the playoffs. So I'm looking for Northeastern here to take this one against Hofstra. I think they're the stronger team. I think they've been tested more, and Hofstra really, really puts it behind Wright Foreman. And shut down Wright Foreman, you shut down Hofstra. I think this is going to be a Northeastern win all the way. I'm going Northeastern minus the 2.5. Daily best bet here for Tuesday. All right, there you go. Best bet out there. Good luck, everyone. Check out patreon.com/Phi Farley, as well as don't forget to subscribe. All right, see you again soon.